Thank you for giving us this opportunity to address you. To help with the smooth flow of the presentation, we ask that you please hold your questions and comments until the end. The artifacts you see here are part of the Battle Creek region's rich and wonderful history. Do you know what? You can't go anywhere in this area and see these items on display. Do you know why? At this time, we don't have a historical museum in which to display these and many, many other items. Many of you will recognize this as a local monument located in downtown Battle Creek's Monument Park. It's called a cairn or stone tower. It was created by local historian James Brown in the 1930s. It commemorated several automobile tours in the 1920s, and it holds many other artifacts such as a gear wheel from the duplex plant's first printing press. There's also a plaque from the battleship USS Maine, made with salvage from that ship. Now the stone tower has a second purpose. It's the official logo of the Battle Creek Regional History Museum. When the new museum opens to the public, artifacts like these and many more will have a permanent home so that they can be researched, displayed, and used to educate all who visit. Here's some background. The first Battle Creek Historical Society was formed nearly a century ago, in 1916. The local Chamber of Commerce met in the Post Building. The intent was to preserve the stories of area pioneers who were aging and starting to die off. The group also planned on creating a permanent museum of Battle Creek's history. The creator of that stone tower, local historian James Brown, was curator of that group. He created a projected show using what were then called magic lantern slides of the city's historic sites and events. In the 1920s, the society elected Dr. John Harvey Kellogg as its president. He was director of the Battle Creek Sanitarium and co-inventor of ready-to-eat cereal. Dr. Kellogg also organized the Three-Quarter Century Club that included any of the area's residents who were then 75 years of age or older. The height of that historical group took place when the city of Battle Creek celebrated its centennial anniversary in 1931. A special history room was established at the newly constructed Central National Bank building, known since as Wolverine Tower, Transamerica Tower, and most recently, Battle Creek Tower, at the corner of Michigan Avenue and McCamley Street. In the years following the centennial, interest in local history was eclipsed by the Depression. The society ceased to exist. In 1966, the Kimball family donated their home to the Junior League of Battle Creek. The group renovated the house on Capitol Avenue Northeast and donated it to the Kimball House Historical Society. In the 1980s, the group changed its name to the Historical Society of Battle Creek. While the Kimball House is a fine example of a Victorian home, it lacks the versatility and space to become a museum capable of holding and displaying all of its own historic collection. The Battle Creek Regional History Museum is the culmination of 7 years of searching, discussions, deliberations, and planning. Beginning in 2007, the Battle Creek Community Foundation hosted gatherings of community historians and interested citizens in a search for a local building that could be used as a history museum. It would not only display the area's rich history, but also have sufficient storage area to contain the vast holdings of local collectors. Some of you may recognize this building, a more recent part of the area's history. It is the former Battle Creek Equipment Company building located at 307 West Jackson Street. It was recently purchased to house the Battle Creek Regional History Museum. It is located near the city's Central Business District, McCamley Plaza Hotel, the Math and Science Center, Full Blast, Kellogg Arena, and the Kellogg House. Not only will the museum be a place for area residents to visit, but the museum will be a go-to place for convention and arena event attendees. It's just a short distance from both the linear park and the convergence of the Battle Creek and Kalamazoo rivers. The museum history A board of directors and its committees, comprised of local historians and people interested in creating a historic museum, has been working tirelessly on this project. The former equipment company is a 3-story, 49,000 square foot building. Phase 1 of the museum remodel will use the first 2 floors. Space not used for displays will be used for storage, research, archival restoration, and a gift shop. The museum hopes to offer storage space to other Merriam museums and community organizations for artifacts not currently on display. This situation might be a revenue source for our museum, or it may be some sort of a reciprocal agreement. Currently, the decorations for the City of Battle Creek's Festival of Lights are being stored in the lower level of the museum building. The Battle Creek Regional History Museum will lead an effort to form a coalition of area museums and history groups to promote each other's exhibits and programs. We will attempt to assist others in many ways that will help each of us become more viable and offer a connected and cohesive area history message. We truly want this museum to represent the Battle Creek region and its history. Each of you should have received a copy of this survey. It is an important part of our mission to provide the public with programs in which the public is interested. By completing this simple survey, you provide a valuable service, helping us to create and market programs and exhibits the public would like to see. Please complete as much of the survey as you can and leave it at your seat. The museum's board has set an ambitious but doable goal to provide 25 of these presentations throughout the area. We want to obtain broad-based results to our survey from hundreds of people that will include youth, minorities, senior citizens, veterans, business, and religious groups. The goal of these presentations is to reach a minimum of 500 persons and to obtain feedback from each. If you know of other groups that might be interested in this presentation, please refer them to us. We are asking the communities to help us spread the word. We really aren't sure when the museum will open. We are currently obtaining our 501c3 not-for-profit status. That hopefully will be done by January 2015. At that time, we will begin raising the $174,000 needed for Phase 1 of the museum's renovations, plus an as-yet undetermined amount for museum fixtures. We are just not able to predict when the grand opening will occur. We are also in the process of establishing an area-wide support group, the Founders Committee. That will be an honorary list of citizens from all walks of life and all parts of the area who will simply lend their names and titles to our cause of history preservation. They'll also tell others of our efforts to create the museum. If you have any question about the Founders Committee and might like to join, please check with us after the presentation. The museum is fortunate to hit the ground running with interest from many individuals in donating or loaning artifacts and memorabilia. Plans are afoot to move Duff Stoltz's vast collection of Seventh-day Adventist and sanitarium artifacts to the museum. We hope to partner with the Battle Creek Historical Society and other organizations to house their collections. The copper kettle that you see here is part of Duff Stoltz's collection. It was one of the first containers in which ready-to-eat cereal was ever produced. This is a famous photo of the U.S. Human Badge using 30,000 troops taken at then Camp Custer in 1918. The museum intends to house many military artifacts, a tribute to the long and important history of Camp, then Fort Custer. The Battle Creek Regional History Museum's Program Committee is planning on rotating exhibits to keep the museum's displays fresh, interesting, and worth coming back to see and enjoy. To do this, the museum will need additional artifacts from the public. The museum has policies that provide for gifts and loans of artifacts from individuals and from organizations. If you know where one or more historic items can be found, please contact the museum. Items may include physical objects, photos, artwork, or documents. This has been a brief overview of the great new regional history asset, a true family place. The museum's board of directors is already ensuring that it will be founded on the most stringent museum standards, and the board plans for the museum to become accredited. I deeply appreciate your interest. On behalf of the entire Battle Creek Regional History Museum family, I thank you.